live in the dungeon. This is the Dream Warrior Review. I'm Kurt Thomas.
I'm Mick Strawn.
Yeah, we did 7 episodes of Castle Rock.
7 episodes.
Not 7 one at a time.
7 in a row.
7 hours.
This is yeah.
So this is based on the stories of Stephen King. I think loosely based, basically. Not really. Doesn't follow exactly, I don't think. But anyway, the series will intertwine characters and themes from the fictional town of Castle Rock, which sounds like a piece of crap and it's going to suck really bad, but I don't think it did. I think it's the opposite.
It was amazing.
Especially the Pennywise. Well, not Pennywise.
Yeah,
the kid. The kid.
Come on. You got his name?
The kid.
Bill Skarsgård.
Yes.
Yes.
So he's actually, I think I said this to the Elm Street girls when we were talking about Elm Street. I said that.
Oh, yeah.
I mentioned Bill Skarsgård as being a potential for
Is
Freddy
the
Krueger.
new, right, exactly.
But I mentioned that he could be creepy without his makeup.
Right,
like,
and this is a perfect example of it. Yeah. Oh,
so if you like Bill Skarsgård, you've got to check this out.
Well, and Sissy Spacek.
Sissy Spacek, yeah.
Like,
she's awesome.
Like in episode 7.
Yeah.
Oh, Sissy Spacek was amazing, and some of the things that are revealed.
Yeah. And that was the craziest episode.
Yeah,
of all
absolutely crazy. I mean, multiple timelines coming in and out, and the voice of God. You have so many elements that are going on here at once, and I hate if it sounds like it's a spoiler, because it's not. Because the amazing thing is the way that all of these elements are put together in a spilling, constant, it's almost like everybody was put into a drum and rolled down the street, and every once in a while somebody comes to the fore and plays their role while everybody is spinning around them, and then it's somebody else's turn, then somebody else's turn.
Do you think I got to a slow start though? I felt like the first few episodes were really slow.
The first few episodes trying to set it up at the very beginning, because basically what we had to do is we had to do the reveal of Skarsgård, I think, which was probably not even, it was 2 episodes, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Before we even got to that point.
I just felt like it was dragged out a little too long for the first.
It could have been, yeah. But then it
started picking up, like I think episode 5.
Episode 5. By the time you hit 5, you were like, what the heck?
I was glad I hung out there, actually. There's probably people out there that gave up after 2. Said, I can't watch any more of this. It's too slow. But it actually also loosely it doesn't really follow the books exactly, but if it takes the characters out of the book, it puts them in a context with all the other characters. It's like what you said. Like,
right.
Your description was better than mine.
Now, I wanted to ask you a question. Is Castle Rock a town that has come up in several different,
I think so,
elements? Because there was something in some of the stuff that you see at the very beginning of some of the newspaper stuff that seemed,
there was a hint of Cujo.
There was a
rabid dog.
There was also
right there.
a hint of It.
Yeah.
Some of the elements of It were in there.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of elements of. So it kind of felt like all these elements.
Well, you had Shawshank.
Came from and Shawshank, of course. Well, Shawshank.
You had the sheriff.
Right,
Needful Things, the dark half. The sheriff was a big part of that. I don't know. I actually found this article that has. I'm cheating here. Somebody else.
That is cheating.
Yeah. So anyway, I mean, there's a lot of references, but the Shawshank was one that kind of came up. That I was reminded. Oh yeah, Shawshank was a Stephen King. Didn't even occur to me.
Right. Wow. You know what? I just thought of something. This just brought back a flash of filming in a prison.
Story time. It's story time with Mick. 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 Story time with Mick.
We are filming in the Saugus Men's. I can't think of the name of it. But it's a prison up above Los Angeles. It's kind of way up. It's above. It's like you take the 5 and you head out and Lake Castaic. You go past Lake Castaic, and there's a prison there, and we were filming. We were filming a film called Fever, and we had to do all the prison scenes in it. Now, there was a guy that was my set decorator, who I'm not going to say who he was because in this case he did something really stupid. I mean, in general he was a pretty good guy, but this wasn't one of his best. So we had been filming at this prison for a long time, and we had to take the set dressing and the set dressing truck down, and we had to dress the it was called Rancho Wayside. Don't ask why. Rancho Wayside Prison. So we had to go down and dress the visitor booth. You know, literally there was a little place that you had to check in, and it was way down this road. Down, you had to come up a canyon, typical California canyon, to get to this prison, and then it opened up, and the prison was all up inside of this canyon, and it was all on this huge slope. Everything was like on the hill itself, and so we were filming in there. We took a truck down, and he had brought on this driver guy / set dressing guy that I had always really truly hated. he was a kind of, let's say, just an utter absolute loser, and my set dresser had an attachment to him, and he liked him for some reason that I'd never understood, and he thought that he was just misunderstood, which not to me. He was an idiot. So we get in our truck, and we go all the way down, and we fix everything up, to dress it, to take away everything that looks like the Rancho Wayside and into more generic eyes. And they shoot the scene, and we're still down there, and we're just waiting, and they had to shoot a couple of things, and then they're done. And so we loaded up the truck, and by now it's night, right? We loaded up the truck, and it was one of the quad cabs. And this was like a big, 5-ton truck. So we loaded everything back into the truck, and and this is our last day that we're filming here, right? And we drive the truck back up to the huge parking lot that's in front of they had this enormous parking lot, and we were just kind of like right at the very, very end of it, all the way up at the top. And then the prison was like over here to the side, right? And we're quite a way away from it, and we all 4 get out of the truck. and it's, like I said, it was on a slope. And we're walking away, and as we're walking away,
I think I know where this is going.
I hear crunching. and I said, "Hey, everybody stop."
Uh-oh.
Everybody stops. And I hear the crunching because it's all on gravel out there, right? And I still hear the crunching. I go, well, what the and I turn around and I look, and the thing is like it wasn't much of a slope, so it had just started to like move.
Yeah.
He hadn't set the brake, right?
Yeah, right.
And the guy was rolling a joint literally in the truck on the way back, right? And I was like, dude, we're already in the prison.
Yeah.
Right? Oh yeah, okay, well, and so he drives it back. He turns around and goes, nah, and he starts to run back to the. There's no way he was going to catch it. Right. Now, here's the thing. The thing is we're now shooting at night, and we have the condor lights up. And so there are condors parked, around the yard, and the lights are like blasting back down into the yard. And so the truck is heading right exactly towards one of those lights. And I go, oh, I don't believe this. And I'm just watching it slowly roll while the one guy is
trying to catch you.
I think his name was Seth, and Seth is running as hard as he can and I see him running, and I'm thinking, oh God, it's gonna take out that condor. And then it starts to really slope down, and it's just heading right towards that condor, and it goes down, and unbeknownst to me, all of a sudden it just goes whoop. And then all I could see was just the headlights, top of it, right? There was an enormous water drainage channel. I mean, enormous. And it had just dumped into that.
Well, that's lucky, isn't it? Kind of.
Yeah, well, no, it was really lucky, because it would have killed the guy that was up in the condor. Because there was a guy that was all the way up in that condor. There wasn't anything that anybody could do. I know that he was up there, and he was operating the lights, and he was heading right towards him, and it was like he couldn't have moved or anything. It was like, it was a nightmare. And so it just settles down in like that. And I turned to my set decorator and said, dude, make this go away. I don't want to hear about this at all. And I just went and walked back into the prison. So I'm in the prison. So the next day, we're clearing up paperwork in the offices, right? Because that was the last day of filming. So we're clearing up paperwork, and I look down, and I'm like, all of a sudden, a paper slides in front of me like this. And I look up, and there's the producer. And I said, so, hey, what's up? And he goes, that was such a screw up last night. That was just unbelievable. And you're not going to believe what happened today.
Oh,
and I said, what happened? Well, first of all, it took a tow truck. It took like 3 tow trucks to get that thing out of the channel, right? But I kind of expected that. I mean, it was like the worst of every possible thing that could happen. He says, no, Seth came in here this morning and he walked into my office and said that he wanted a $50 driver's bump beyond his set dressing bump.
Man.
And he said, and I was so blown away that I had to approve it. He says, and I just approved it just because he had the balls to ask. And he says, and now you get to approve it too.
Oh.
So I had to reach out and sign that. And they sent him a check for $50.
Wow. I wish my job was like that. I could totally screw something up and get more money.
Hey, every once in a while you have to, and I understand this because this has happened before that something has come down the line and I've been like, okay, you know what? If you got the balls to say that, I'm gonna give it to you.
He was traumatized. That horrible event that happened.
Right, exactly. So anyway, back to what we were saying. Where are we here? Excellent bones. Really good makeup effects and bones in this. There was a prop that had an animal in it.
Oh yeah.
And it was excellent.
Awesome. Yeah,
it was excellent. And the thing that's great about it is, as soon as you see it, you think to yourself, well, that's going to be a prop point later on. And sure enough, it was. It took literally
episodes later.
It'll take several episodes to get to it. And does Skarsgård have an amazing stare or what?
Yes.
I mean,
amazing.
I mean, wow. It just absolutely.
And then also the way he like kind of he has this like
that hump. I wrote that down in here. Yeah, the way that he stands and walks is it's just wrong.
Yeah.
And I couldn't figure out whether he was tall or short.
He seemed pretty tall, but he was hunching so much.
Yeah, he seemed tall, but I was wondering if he was in lifts all the time.
But do you see how kind of
because he didn't seem tall when he was the clown, right?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Well, he's always like this when he's a clown. He's like
right. No, so maybe
running around, I guess. So did you get the feeling like see, this is how I felt like the first few episodes were kind of like developing a sense of doom, and nothing ever happened. Kind of
right, exactly. Yeah,
like
no, you're absolutely right.
They also used a lot of. They're also busy kind of putting shout outs to different Stephen King stories,
right,
and stuff,
right,
here and there. It's like
I wanted to point out something that when we first see the priest, and the woman has a knife, right? There was something amazingly small, little teeny tiny thing, and I just wanted to point out how brilliant it was, because she's in the hallway. And she goes into the room and she's got the knife like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she looks in the room and doesn't see the guy.
Right.
But if you caught the knife, his reflection is on the knife.
Yeah.
You know? And I was like, ooh, that's cool.
That was a cool scene, actually.
It was a cool scene. And then she turns around and he runs immediately out of the room at her, you know? And you're like, yeah, that's like, oh.
And then they actually did a good job casting, too, because the young, the main character, George.
Right.
His son, or his younger version of himself, looks just like him.
Right. It looks just like him. He wasn't as good of an actor, though.
No.
Yeah, his acting was a little bit weak, but...
And of course, there's some Stand By Me elements in this, obviously.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Plus, there was a little thing that this totally reverse sexism thing. Would it kill you to smile? Would it?
Right.
I love the return on it. It's a woman saying it to the man, to the man. Would it kill you to smile? And it's repetitive. It keeps coming back again and again. She says it. You know, it's like I thought that was really interesting.
I wrote down here after episode 3, I said, "Hope it gets better."
Yeah. You know what? I gotta tell you, even from the beginning, because I thought the first one was just incredibly boring.
The scene with the mascot, for me, that was a great scene, just because it was like. It set up the town as being this crazy place.
Whacked out place.
But it was like, it was the fall after they found that boy's body. This is when the narration kind of starts.
Right, yeah.
And then, but it was actually kind of, it references The Body.
Yeah.
Which was adapted into Stand By Me.
Oh, okay. Oh,
so
yeah.
They found the body by the tracks.
The body by the tracks, yeah.
But it's like I didn't make that connection until like later on. And then the scenes were like, that was like when they were talking about the how the town just like does horrible things and you just live with it, like the bathtub scene.
Right. Oh, yeah.
There's some really good elements to this.
Disturbing.
Yeah.
Right. And you just deal with it.
So episode 7. What's interesting is this was all building up to episode 7, I think, and then episode 7 was it. I don't even know what that was.
I want to give you the most amazing. I couldn't wrap my head around 7 was amazing. I couldn't wrap around. And you know what? It's really funny because there was something about chapter 7 was like Sissy Spacek doing jazz.
Yeah.
I mean, because I couldn't figure out what was going on. I mean,
and their husband.
I was going to give you some guesses, but I don't want to put them out.
Yeah.
But
I don't want to ruin anything.
But it was like jazz. Her performance was amazing in it. I wanted to point out one of the most amazing jobs of construction and set dressing I have seen in ages. And I'll bet you can't guess the set that was. It was in the forest. There was a cabin in the forest.
Yeah.
Right? And a piano was on the second floor and had fallen through the floor.
Right. Yeah.
And they dressed it like all the boards had come down. And it was nothing falls like that. Nothing falls apart like that.
Right.
But it was down on the ground with all the boards bent towards it. Like it looked like the wooden piano version of Vesuvius.
Yeah,
I mean, just and it was an amazing thing to see. I mean, I just was like, wow, somebody really took some time to make it look organic and yet to say something, about how the rot of everything, just takes the heavy items down.
And there's a piano reference later on with the Skarsgård.
Oh yeah, Skarsgård holding himself so oddly. And the subtle sound, there were many sounds that were going in the background at all times, but a lot of them were there were little noises that were going on, and every time that there was just a little ambient noise, like a cricket or something like that, it was played backwards. It was flanged and backwards.
See, I didn't catch that.
Oh yeah,
that's crazy.
As it goes on, you'll hear it.
I'll catch
because
it now, probably.
You would hear like a dog bark in the background, just really really low, and you would notice that that it would be barking in reverse. They had flanged it and then or turned it around. And kept it really, really low. And so there was all these little flanging noises that were going on all the time that were just kind of niggling at your conscious.
That's crazy.
And there was another element that I thought that was really cool, and it's something that I'm starting to get used to, is the modern cameras. The incredible clarity of them. And
they do better in low light, which I've noticed.
They do much better in low light.
Even 10 years ago, when I tried to use video cameras,
it was
low light.
The thing is I'm noticing it. I'm noticing the generations of these new lenses and new cameras. Year by year, everything is getting clearer, and the clarity of the wide shots of the town in this was amazing.
Did this not look like a lot like 1922? Like the look of it?
Yeah, it did, but it was a little bit more colorful.
Right.
Especially when you get on the wide elements of the town, because there was something that it was trying to sell about the town that was a false,
like a
false
facade.
modernism, a false narrative of stiff upper lip, and we're pulling this together and all the rest of that, with the real estate lady and everything. And it's like, it's sort of like a group that's trying to pull themselves up by their bootstraps, but they're
and hide all their secrets.
Hide all their secrets, and it's from everybody else. And it was it's quite amazing.